Next to the Parima system is a system called Jaffa, and in the Jaffa system, if you go to Jaffa 4, you'll find a location called the Vulture's Roost. Now, this is a base of operations for the Ecliptic, and it's also their clubhouse as well, where most of their debauchery occurs. It features a lot of combat for the player and a lot of goodies as well. As the player comes off their ship, they'll be greeted by harsh weather conditions and also snipers around and about, perched high above you in the sprawling compound which is hanging off the edge of the cliffs surrounding them. Unfortunately, in the beginning of this walkthrough here, I lost the original footage, so it is combatant free until we get to the end, where I did manage to recover some footage from. This opening combat does feature a lot of very long distance range combat. I would highly suggest, if you were coming here, come here with a decent ranged weapon like a hard target or any kind of long range rifle would work. This point of interest does have its own jail cell. It can be unlocked from the computer terminal and also has some drugs inside. The terminal does have logs of prisoners that were kept at the cell itself. Also, there is a magazine in the floor above the prison. You'll see it on screen. Please don't miss that one. This point of interest does feature a lot of storyline elements strewn about throughout, whether it is the records at the prison or little leaflets and papers strewn about. So if you are one that is into storyline, pay attention to all the things strewn about. There are messages written on all of them. As we go deeper into the Vulture's Roost, we will come upon the Ecliptic bar that they have, and the fighting is the heaviest in this bar, and we switch from a long range to more of a mid-range combat to close range. And also within this bar we will find several small rooms, bedrooms. There is a key to all the bedrooms within the kitchen. You can locate it there. And there is a plethora of contraband that can be found here. More than enough to easily fund a lot of ship upgrades or whatever it is you want to do with that money. Maybe buy a new ship entirely. And as we exit this building, we will get to the final area, which is another landing pad. And upon exiting, the player will see a ship come landing down in the middle. Combat here is going to be at a very long range, so yet again, I'm going to emphasize bringing along some kind of sniper rifle of some sort, whether it be a hard target or mag sniper. Anything will do the trick. This point of interest does feature a lot of loot. You'll be getting a lot of weapons and spacesuits from here, and it's relatively close to your ship, so you might I believe majority of the point of interest you are able to access your ship's cargo from. So almost everything you get, you are going to be able to keep without having to travel back to your ship. And this is why this point of interest is probably one of a must-do point of interest for any NG plus run you're doing, or if it's your first run through the game, is you're going to be able to finance a lot of what you want to do in the game by taking small amount of time, do this point of interest, collect up all the weapons, all the contraband, and it will finance you for a long time. Also, I will say, if you are like me and you do like to play a sniper build, this is probably one of the most enjoyable points of interest you can do. It's very sniper heavy. There are some mid-range to close-range combat encounters, but the vast majority of this point of interest is going to be sniper combat. It's going to be at a pretty far range, and relatively engaging as well. As I'm approaching the ship ahead, I will let you know this ship is commandeerable. You can take this ship. The ship comes basically with the point of interest. So if you're looking for a new ship, here is a free one you can get. All you have to do is just clear out this place, and at the very end you can have that ship. I will say it's a step up from the Frontier, but not by much. It's a relatively, how should I say, weak A-class ship. It's called the Dagger, um, and it'll get the job done, or you could just sell it and be done with it. I chose the latter on this option because I have a much better ship, so I just went ahead and sold it. The Jaffa system is a level 35 system, but this point of interest does feature a lot of leveled enemies, so I would say it is very enjoyable at any level, but I would say you do need to be at least probably like level 25 to be able to get through this. So between the contraband and the weapons that I did obtain from this point of interest, it yielded me about 250,000 credits plus the ship on top of that. Um, So it's a pretty good haul. It takes about a half hour to go through. If it's your first time and you're going through at an appropriate level, like between 25 and say 40, it might take you substantially longer to get through it, as you're probably going to progress through it a lot slower and lean heavily on stealth to kind of get through there without being too overwhelmed. I think this might be my favorite point of interest, and that's mainly due to the amount of sniper combat that's involved in the point of interest, and also the amount of loot. So the loot really does make it worthwhile. If you did find this information useful or entertaining, please give me a like and subscribe.